join. Guys, welcome to the Breakthrough Week. We're going to be session 4, which is the hot seat day on the Awaken Man project. Now, let me just share with you just the context of this session, because I feel it's really, really important for you to understand what this session is all about. Now, up until this point in the week, it's been fairly like one way. We've been talking, you've been listening and receiving. And like, that's where, when we first started Awaken Man, we did have that. It was all week. It was kind of one way. And we believed that it didn't facilitate a good transaction and transformation from the information that we were given. And so what we want to do is we give you information, you have insight, which is this session, you turn that into action, and we get transformation. That's how information turns into transformation. And a hot seat is where I will coach one of our current clients, so one of our members who is on our program, and I coach him in front of all of the other men. Okay, every single week I go until every single man has been heard who wants a hot seat. Now, that is the biggest difference between our Heroic Man program and our Awaken Man program, is that you get this two-way interaction, which we do give, in small amounts in Heroic. It's probably enough. But that's the main difference, to be honest. You're going to get a mile deep. And this is also where the power of the group comes in. I've been coaching now for 15 plus years. I've been coaching different levels of business people, transformations. And I coach you as if it's just me and you on the call. But I have also the luxury of having like-minded men on the call who might be able to see something I can't. And I'm really open for you to raise your hand, put in the chat saying, I can see something, I've got something for this man. You're welcome to put it in the chat for everyone to see, to guide that man. So that man can go back to the chat after his hot seat and read through his comments. So not only is he getting world-class coaching, he's actually getting a group of men in his corner. And the difference between just a hot seat where we just have a chit chat, what I believe is really important about the culture we've created in Awaken Man is that there's a commitment at the end of that coaching. Now, that's not where the story ends. The commitment is where he goes out and makes a change in his life. He could be going out and having a hard conversation. He could be taking some action, joining the gym, X, Y, Z, all these different things. But then he feeds back into the WhatsApp group saying what he's done. Now, this is what's really important between us and like a load of groups I've been in the past, is that we're a group of men who make and keep promises. We make a promise, we're going to go and make some change, and we go and do it. And I think that echo chain, like that kind of feedback loop of like, oh, right, I've seen Don going to say he's going to go and have that conversation with his boss. He later then puts in the WhatsApp group, I've had that conversation. When I come back to have my conversation on the hot seat, or I've got a struggle and I make a commitment to move forward, I fucking have to move forward, right? And that's the difference. It's like, it's absolute accountability at its finest. I'm making and keeping promises. One of my old mentors said, business is the building of relationships by making and keeping promises. But he got that from Covey, which is trust. Yeah, trust is the making and keeping of promises. There's an enormous amount of trust in this group. So here's how the hot seat works. I coach you. We find out what's the main issue, the heart of the issue. We move you to a commitment, and then you move into an accountability-based commitment that you go and take straight away. Sometimes guys leave the call straight away as soon as they've got that. So on today's call, I'm going to invite only our current clients to put their hand up, and you will get coached. Guys who are joining the call, you're welcome to chip in the comments. Please do not unmute. Okay, please do not unmute. Make sure you keep your mute off, and just pound the comments with insights, what's coming up for you. And the final part of this is, as this man is sharing, there's two things you can do. You can support, you can challenge, or you can look inwards and say, well, where does this actually work for me? What am I seeing about my life? And what are my insights into my life from this man's hot seat? Be selfish as well as supportive. Yeah. Okay. So before we get going, Aaron Pritchard joined Awaken Man. How long ago was it, Aaron? Just going to unmute you, brother.
About 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, 4 weeks ago. Oh, Jesus, is that it? And then yeah, and so he came to me and he shared a breakthrough that he had, and he wrote it in the group, and I was like, dude, this is so inspirational. Can more men hear this? So can you just share what you shared around joining the AMP and what happened for you in the last couple of 4 weeks? Because it is absolutely incredible what's happened.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it was a bit of a tough one to talk about, but that's something that I've learned in this program is sort of, you know, don't suppress your struggles. So I've followed, you know, I've known Ben many years, and I've followed everything that he does and says, and you know, started to watch the Awakened Man and what they were putting out, and really like the sound of it. But to be honest, from my side, I did have a couple of sort of reservations in terms of, you know, I didn't have that 6-figure business that was smashing it. And Pete really put some pressure on me after a call with him to say, look, I really feel like we could help you with this one, because I was having a lot of struggles in my life. So yeah, I sort of very briefly, you know, I snapped my ACL within the last 6 years. I've sort of snapped my ACL twice, which sort of ended my football career. My dad, who's, you know, one of the most important people to me, he had cancer. Sorry, I'm on a bike path in France here, and they're all ringing the bell. My wife and I, we had sort of 3 miscarriages within the last couple of years. I went for an eye test, found out I had a brain tumor out of nowhere. So sort of within a week, I was emergency surgery, repairing that. All good, all clear. Struggle with sort of after that, because I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't feel like as a man I should or I could. You know, I could see the people around me were struggling and trying to hold it together on my behalf, and I felt that I must do the same for them. And it just made everything worse for me, because, you know, suppressing things never works, whilst it, you know, seems to be the done thing. You know, not talking about these things just you know, enlarges the problem. And then it sort of reached breaking point for me, really, when we found out we were having our first little boy. And the very next day I had a call to say, oh, by the way, brain tumor's back. So, I mean, that hit me for 6, and I've been on the floor ever since. So, you know, they say that things find you at the right time. And Pete certainly did. And he really, really put some pressure on me to join the group. And I can honestly say it's the best thing I've ever done, because it's, you know, I was just stuck in this victim mindset where I felt like life was unfair. You know, why has this happened to me? And I just couldn't see past it. And it was impacting the whole of my life, my business, my career, just everything, my family life, because I suppressed everything. I didn't communicate with them. So yeah, it was just, it's all about taking ownership. That's what I've seen now. You know, you come across these problems in life, and it's something that they talk about frequently in the group, is obstacles make me stronger. And that's so true. And it's just completely shifted my outlook on everything that has happened to me and everything that is ahead in the future, because you know, there's going to be pain, there's going to be struggles in the future, and, you know, I'm more than ready to tackle them head on, rather than suppress and try and be that strong man that you know, I feel I should be. And, you know, the Awakened Man group has just got the most amazing support. You know, I posted and shared in the group the other day my thoughts and feelings, because, you know, you feel it in yourself, you feel the changes in yourself and the improvements in yourself. But what pushed me to share is we're on holiday with the in-laws at the moment, and they pulled me aside and they said, you know, we're not really sure what this is that you're involved with, the group. But
what's this cult you've joined?
Yeah, but the transformation in you has just been unbelievable, and that was echoed by my wife, just across the board. My life has just shifted in a completely different direction. I felt like I was on my knees, and now I'm heading forward with you know, determination and focus. So yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thank you, man. I just wanted to make sure you shared that, and hats off to you for sharing that so eloquently. guys, just wanted you to go into the chat, and what could you see in Aaron that shifted? Like, what was the change that you saw? And like, the fact is that he actually might not have his 6-figure high performer, but he will have soon, because he's going to be the single clothing provider for all the schools in North Wales, right?
That'll be me.
He literally, like, on his first call, he went and acquired his biggest competitor. So that's what he did. Like, on our onboarding call, the first thing he did afterward, he's like, who's the biggest competitor that I have in my industry? And he went and had a conversation to buy their business. You see, guys, that's a bold fucking move. Yeah. So he just, instead of like playing small, he went and took bold action, and you're currently in the acquisition of your biggest competitor, right?
Well, that was it. You know, I've seen shifts sort of in my emotional stability and sort of my outlook on life. But, you know, I wasn't joining specifically for the business improvement, although I know that will come in time. But within 10 minutes of a call with Ben, I felt like there was this glass ceiling on my business. And within around 10 minutes, he'd just taken a sledgehammer to that. And my outlook and, you know, where I see my business going is completely transformed. You know, the sky's the limit for it, really. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, well done, man. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that. And guys, honestly, the reason we shared that is a testament to Aaron, a testament to the men in the group who've kind of pushed him and him, you know, and the work that we've done together. So thank you, Aaron. Really appreciate you coming and sharing that, man. And thank you for taking time out of your family holiday. Awesome, guys. So we're going to go into the first hot seat, which is Matt Roberts. You're in, bro. You're in.
Sweet. How's it going, guys? Basically, what I'm looking for here is just assistance with like clearing this last little bit of debt. There's about 20K worth of debt. I'm looking at minimizing expenses on top of already like 20K's worth of expenses. There's a bit of a deadline, as you know, Ben. Got about 11 weeks to clear this before a court hearing. I spoke to Pete earlier on in the week about it, which has been like super helpful. But yeah, I just need more support in regards to like either generating more sales, methods, strategies.
Okay, I've got an idea. Right. We have got 61 men on this call. Right, Matt, guys, listen, Matt has done some fucking incredible work. And like, he is, can I tell a little bit of your story, Matt? Is that okay?
Share what you need, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's done incredible work, and he's got, there's been a couple of guys who've joined the Awaken Man project. So they're looking to get, you know, cut in court, custody their children and stuff like that. Matt's done like 6 figures with that goal in mind. And he's got to do a little bit more. And we just got to get him to the point where he is like ready to literally go to that court hearing with his debts cleared, right? Matt has got an incredible, he is actually the best coach in the world, in my opinion, for getting people to not just complete, but compete in obstacle course racing. So Matt's business is Primal Fitness. Is it Primal or Primal Fitness?
Yeah, Primal Fitness, Obstacle Dominators.
Okay, so Obstacle Dominators. Like, could the 60 guys in this group do to help? Like, what could they share for you that would help just really expose everyone to your like something that could help you with this project? I think this is the best thing we could do right now whilst on the call.
Okay, so in answer to the question in the chat, it's a health coaching and performance coaching business. All right, so we specifically work with people that want to improve their health, performance. All right, and we get them ready for these races, things like Spartan Race, Tough Mudder is another one. There's a variety of different events. We're actually gearing up a lot of people to the World Championships. One of my coaches is actually on this call as well. So things you could do, add me as a friend on Facebook, look at my profile, share my Facebook group, get people in there. So
guys are like,
I could drop my social media links on there.
Yeah. So first and foremost, connect with Matt. And the second thing is that Matt's got his track record. Like, you go on Matt's socials, and every single fucking weekend, all of his athletes are dominating the podiums on the obstacle course races in the country. So not only is he getting great results, he's helping guys dominate and actually compete at the highest levels. So Matt, if there was anything these guys could share that would help guys get awareness that you're the best in the world at what you do, what would it be?
Yeah, just give us a follow, share that content. Yeah, because the more reach we get, like honestly, it's like completely transformative. It's not just about, hey, do a race and this 6-week challenge. Right, we're diving deep into the nutrition, the lifestyle, like the movement, the physical training for performance, also the mindset. So it's like completely powerful stuff. And then the ultimate goal is to get people to do these races. One of my coaches on here, like Liam, like he's been dropping in and doing whatever else. I started working with Liam 3 years ago, and I mean, he can share about his story, but he wasn't in a good place. And then got his first podium within 9 months, become top 3 national champions, and then won the European Championships in Spartan race. So that's how transformative it is. It's incredibly powerful. So
have you got like a showcase reel of like, this is what I fucking do? So this, because I like Matt, he's a savage at getting people on podiums in Spartan races. Like I'm going to use Matt because we're training to do the Spartan race in Greece in November, and I want to not necessarily win the race. I want to do well, right? So I'm going to use Matt because he's going to teach me how to do a bit better in racing that race. But have you got like a show reel, right? Or like you know, like a mini like VSL, like 60 seconds or 90 seconds that you can just bang on your Facebook, on your page and go, boom, this is what I do, boom, 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 and then make it shareable. And then like anyone here can go, right, I'll share that, right? And it's like, hey guys, if any of you are thinking about running a Spartan race, have a look at this man. He teaches people to get on podiums.
Yeah, plenty of that.
Yeah, guys, I think that's the best thing we could do for you. Like in terms of action, guys, like, you know, the power of the group is just, Matt, can you share your best VSL or the most powerful kind of immediate thing that will get someone to do, like, take an action and get like an email or something? Guys, if you could do this for Matt, honestly, what's going on and what he's achieved already, I want you to get to this goal, man. In terms of anything else, Matt, like, is there anything else we can do to help you?
No, I think just, vocalizing this, like reaching other people's audience will be really powerful. Because like, guys, if you don't want to like get any benefit from doing this, like there's got to be someone, you know, like for sure. Yeah. And like I said, it's transformative. Yeah, it's completely like that's what I found like a few years ago. I left the military. Another reason why I ended up in AMP as well. You need that like brotherhood and support, but fundamentally we need to be healthy body and mind. So yeah, if you know someone, I'm speaking to like a type 1 diabetic at the moment. We've got a number of guys that have got diabetes, type 1, type 2 that we help. So yeah, it's just good having a goal bigger than yourself, bigger than health and fitness and bodybuilding. Obstacle racing is like a proper primal sport. Like if you want to be harder to kill, like they say, like obstacle course racing is the one. So
let's keep it on to like, so we've got one thing is, guys, if Matt put some stuff into the comments in the chat, so if you can straight after this hot seat use the chat, Matt, and I'll bring in some attention. We'll put it into the group. But is there anything else? Like, is there anything that we're not, that you're not doing, that you could do, that would be an easy win? You're like, oh, fuck, I've done this in the past. It's had really, really great traction or really good inflection in the business, and I'm not doing it.
No, I feel like I'm doing everything I can to drive down expenses, increase profit margins. Yeah, that's happening. It's slow progress. Prospecting's good. In answer to that comment, yeah, done about 4 hours this morning. Got a social media team. So
yeah, and let's say, like, is there, like, how many clients have you got?
It's over 80. Yes, it's quite a few. Yeah.
Okay, and what could you do? Like, what is there you could do to get them to help your stuff go viral this week?
Yeah, again, sharing content. Yeah, referrals is always big.
So when was the last time you did a referral competition?
It's been a few months. We've put word out actually recently to do that, but I feel like we need to drive that more in private. Yeah, because it's a great source. Yeah.
Well, what about like even just to pay for an experience for them? Like their value is obstacle courses, racing, that you'll pay for an obstacle race plus the flight, you know, literally like something with a lot of value, but it's not necessarily really expensive, like less than £1,000.
Mm.
You know, like, what's the lead worth to you? And it's like, well, actually, if you get, you know, 10, 15, 20 people saying, listen, and like, if each person is on a drive to get more than one person, because whoever gets the most referrals gets a prize. You have a first, second, and third.
Yeah. All right, I'll drive that. I'll look at the existing client base as well for referrals and really drive that behind closed doors as well.
Maybe not just behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you know, you talk about what you're doing in terms of value for your current customers out front. It's like, hey, just to let you know, for our current customers right now, we've got a bring a friend or refer a friend competition going on, where we're actually taking care of all the expenses for one of the experiences that person wants to have this year, because we believe in experiences.
Yo, Matt, are you guesting on people's podcasts?
I have been, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
That's one, mate. You want to ramp that up. You are a champion Spartan racer. Like that's that's interesting. Talking around the mindset, talking around the resilience, talking around the grit, talking around the training.
Is Jody Rainsford? Is Jody Rainsford on here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Jody's got a running
runner's podcast.
Get on podcasts, because you need to get more eyeballs on you. And the stuff that you do is interesting. Like the podcast you did with us, that, you know, that got loads of views, loads of listens. So mate, crack out on that. Make that a mission. I'm going to apply for 20 podcasts a week, like guesting on people's podcasts. Just hit your warm network first, to see who's got podcasts that you could get onto, and then it just gets more eyeballs on you. And make sure when you're on that pod that you just got a really simple and easy call to action, not like 27 call to actions, like follow me here, follow me here, follow me here. It's just one simple, find me here. And it's really easy for them to find you. Get more eyeballs on you.
Okay. Matt, what's your commitment or your insight, brother? Well, insight and commitment.
I use the rest of this call just to do the bit of the admin there, get a 60-second reel that we can share in this group. And yeah, that's kind of it. And then I'll work on the referrals more, and then I'll reach out to podcasts as well to get on them and get more visibility.
Yeah, do a top 5. Like I'll reach out to podcasts is like too broad. Go for like, I'm gonna get on 5 podcasts. Yeah. So your goal by the end of the week is to get confirmed 5 podcasts, Matt.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's help him, guys, because we can help him that, guys. Awaken Man Group as well. We can help him achieve that. Yeah, we've had you on ours. You've still got 5 more.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you, Matt. Guys, thank you for that. What's your insight from Matt's conversation, guys, in the chat? Just feel free before we jump into Paul's conversation. What do you see about yourself or a situation you're in, or something you could see format from that conversation? Share in the chat before we move on. Yeah. He's blessed with a clear target. Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan McGuinness. Guys need a target. Power of the group. Yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be, let's step it up for him. You know, he's going to put some stuff in the group later on. Please share it. Yeah, thank you, Reddit. Love the help of the group. Super direct, half-time spent. Yeah, we're quite clinical. Get things done. Sometimes these hot seats can be 2-3 minutes. Sometimes they could be like 20 minutes. Yeah, there's always options for a solution. Okay. Yeah, understanding what limiting belief, trait, or skill will unlock the next grade in his business. Yeah. Okay, Paul, you're in, bro.
How are you doing, lads?
I'm well. What do you want to get coached around today, Paul? What would make this a world-class hot seat for you?
So last week we were on the onboarding call, and I sent out a message, and a couple of lads were interested in obviously coming on board for the 12 weeks as I'm going through the coaching cert with G. So, but they're just kind of unclear of what's actually going to happen. And that's, you were saying to join the hot seats and that side of things as well. So that's what I'm kind of here for, because obviously they'll be first coaching clients and stuff, and a bit out of my depths here with it.
Awesome. Okay, so you're starting out coaching. So just give a bit of context for everyone listening in. Paul's been a copywriter. He's been coached for years. He's really into his men's work. He's joined our certification program, and you're designing a coaching program.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Have you asked them what struggles or challenges they have?
No, not yet. No, I was going to I've slightly created a job form to send on to them.
Okay.
Kind of a replica of what G had.
So that I think this is a difference between pure coaching and a program. Like, and you need to decide what you're actually doing. Are you creating a program or are you coaching people? Because when you get on a conversation with someone and you're enrolling them as a coach, that if they want to do a body transformation, I'll do a body transformation with them. If they want to work on the relationship, I'll work on the relationship. Like, guys come to the Awakened Man, and like, you guys are our curriculum, like, especially on these types of sessions, right? So this is what the beauty of coaching is if you sit and listen to someone articulate the challenges and problems that they have in their life and the impact of those challenges, and then offer them a space to work through them with you, that is coaching. Yeah. And you'll learn more in the certification. But so what I would recommend that you did is create a space or a first phone call. Say, listen, they say, what's in the program? I said, well, I'll tell you what, let's spend an hour on a call. Let's go through some of the struggles and challenges that you've got in your life, and let's work out where you want to get to and what's in the way. Yeah, so it's a really simple framework that, Pete's got a different framework to what I've got, and there's loads of different ways to do it. But essentially what you're offering is a 1 hour conversation where you ask them questions about the struggles and challenges that they're having in their life. And then you ask them the impact of those struggles and challenges. What's it costing them in time, energy, money, opportunity cost? And you're just slowing down, and you're being that person who's going to hold the space for them and let them actually talk about the struggles and challenges they got in their life. That in itself is, for a lot of guys, is super, super helpful. And then you're going to ask them where they want to get to. And if they want an accountability partner, are they looking for a coach? Are they looking for a mentor? What are they looking for in order to get to where they want to be? And then as you're going, as the conversation's unfolding, whether it's 60 to 90 minutes, however you want to do, you'll start to work out if they're a fit to work with you. And do you believe that you can serve them? And that's where sometimes you say, literally, I don't think I can help you with this, but I know who can. Or actually, I can help you stay accountable to this goal or this challenge that you've got ahead of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like like what I've just explained, 10,000 foot view, guys, is, for the guys listening as well, is that sometimes we wear badges of coaches, consultants, mentors, trainers. But what I became obsessed with, especially in fitness, is becoming a world-class consultant, sitting down and just giving someone 90 minutes of my time where I just listened to them and really found out not just the problem, but the problem behind the problem. Not even that, the problem behind the problem behind the problem. And then when somebody really feels heard, and that like they've never disclosed what it could be a weight loss problem, it could be a financial problem. But when you dig behind all that, eventually get to the point where, yeah, actually it means that my marriage is going to break down if I don't solve this. And they haven't disclosed that to anyone. And then you can offer them, say, hey man, would you like some coaching around the shifts that that you can make in order to keep your marriage? Is it get the next job? Is it transform your body so you feel more confident? Do you feel that you could coach someone around that? That's a question. Paul.
Around
Do you feel that you could
around,
hold the space? Yeah, and ask them questions.
yeah, ask them questions. Yeah, get them to introspect.
Yeah. And so the final part is like, as you're starting off, a really, really great one is just to be honest with the guys that you're enrolling, saying, hey, listen, I'm a new coach. I'm going to be marketing my program for X amount, but as I'm starting off, I'm going to give you it for X amount because I'm looking for testimonials.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is this a confidence thing for you, Paul?
Well, it's just, I suppose I have the kind of new. It's new, and it's like the first time I do.
Bullshit. I'm going to call you a bullshit on that straight away. You've been a consultant. You came and consulted with me and Pete on Awaken Man, on our marketing. You consulted with us, you coached us, you asked us good questions, and you're not new. But is that is that right though?
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
So you're just hiding behind this new banner, like, oh, I'm new. I'm new to this. It's like same as Luke Bicknell. Luke Bicknell had been doing this for like Luke was a year into coaching. And he's like, holy shit! On like one of our calls, he was like, I've been doing this since I was like 20. And then Luke's business went, it took off. And Luke, like echoing that, it did actually, like, holy shit. I was like, he's been like Luke looks like he's like 32, but he's actually, I think he's 40.
Or 50.
Yeah, he's Luke's 50. Yeah. Sorry, Luke. What's this new label hiding? Like, what, by you using this new label, I'm new to coaching, what's it allowing you to do?
Not do it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
How long have you been consulting with people's marketing for?
2.5 years, 3 years.
And how many conversations you've had with people about the struggles and challenges in their marketing?
Geez, I don't know.
Hundreds.
Hey, Greg DeCoca, do you recognize this problem? Greg DeCoca, I know you're on it. Do you recognize this? I hope you're sitting there laughing. Yeah.
But listen, Paul, sometimes I just want to say something here, because I've been through this, right? When I left my previous business and I came into the Awake, I'd never I wasn't a coach, right? I'd built a business. I'd coached my team and that sort of thing. But for me, I was always very comfortable with knowing that as long as I'm 2 or 3 steps further ahead than the guy that's in front of me, then that's all. I don't need to be 1,000 steps ahead. I don't need to be like this major pinnacle ahead, right? As long as I'm 2 or 3 steps, like I've got enough there to be able to help the man.
And it's like, I agree with Pete, but I also challenge that from a coaching perspective, that you don't need to be ahead of your client in coaching because they've got all the answers. What you need to do is help them get out their own way. Like, I had this on the Awaken Man. One of the guys who joined, I said to Yassine, I was like, how the fuck am I going to coach this dude? He's got like all these good businesses. He's making more money than me. And he said, that's not your fucking role, Ben. You don't need to know about his business. You need to know how to help him get out of his own way. And I was like, right.
Yeah. One of my favorite coaching questions, right, is what would you do in this situation? Just reverse the question back onto the client, because more often than not, they do have the answers. Like, if you were to come up with 3 solutions right now, if we were to think about 3 solutions for your problem and you were coaching me, like, what would they be? And then if you were to pick like the number 1 solution out of those 3 things, what would that be? More often than not, they've got the answers. They just need the right questioning.
Yeah, makes sense.
what's your
story.
insight, Paul? Let's get some clarity. What can you see differently as a result of this conversation?
You don't need to be further ahead of them. You just need to get them to question themselves and look at what they're doing, not what you're doing. And help them get out of their own way. Ask them questions. Be the space, like be that space where they can go and resolve their issues.
Yeah, everything, like, this is something I learned from like Steve Chandler's work, is everything that the client needs is within them. You just got to help them see it. And this is what we just literally did. Like, dude, you've been doing this for 2.5 years. It's just as a story that you've told yourself that I'm new, that's stopping you from really, like, so all you're doing, instead of doing it in a marketing sense, you're just going to ask pervasive questions in a, like, say a guy wants to work on his business. And, you know, I know you want to work with guys who are unfulfilled, who want to create businesses, and they perhaps, you know, in places like Dubai and places like, you know, like my mate Lee, he's here. I meet guys like this all the time. They want to have impact businesses. They've got money. What kind of questions would you ask them?
Okay, where would I suppose I'd find out a bit about their story. First of all, like, what is it? Where are they at, and where they got to where? Because a lot of it's in the story. Like you said to me, a lot of it, like, you're either going to help somebody because you didn't have something, or you're going to help somebody because you have something that helped you, and you know that helps others.
Yeah.
So
Can you connect with Luke Bicknell outside of the calls? Luke, can Paul connect with you, and just, can you share your story with him about how you have kind of landed and expanded in the companies that you've worked with? If that'd be okay. That'd be awesome if you could do that. Okay. Paul, let's get into commitments.
set up 2 calls. They had 2 calls with the lads who reached out to me, and get on 2 60-minute calls with them the next week.
Yeah. And we'll go through a framework. I'll give you some stuff to help you just bowl with the sides up on the bowling alley, just to give you some kind of pointer. But honestly, when I got into coaching, I just got into conversations with people, just ask them questions, and you know how to do that, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome,
Perfect.
man.
Sweet.
Thank you, Paul.
Awesome.
Yeah, guys, and I think this is what happens, especially in coaching, consulting, is that we're looking for the perfect way. You know, the perfect way. There isn't a perfect way. You just, like, you'll actually calibrate over time. Like, you'll calibrate with every good conversation you'll have. Actually, one of the best exercises I did after every single coaching session for like 2 or 3 years is, like, how did I show up? How did he show up? What was the real pain? And what's one thing I can do better from this coaching conversation? I had a purple book and I used to write after every fucking coaching conversation. I was working with a coach that at the time, he said, this is the best thing you can do after every single conversation. And that purple book contains some of the best insights from my coaching experience. And every time I go back home and I've got all my journals, I look through, I'm like, holy fuck, you know, there's some fucking gold in there. So it's like, how did I show up? How did he show up? What was the real pain? And what was the best part? And what can I learn from this conversation? And I was just like calibrating with every conversation. I was very lucky because I had like 250 clients, and I just offered coaching pretty much for free. You know, that they had a struggle or challenge, I'd give them my time. And that's how I calibrated my coaching over the last couple of years, right? Okay, thank you, Paul. What was your insights from that conversation, team? What can you see? Maybe it might not be that you want to start a coaching business, but maybe you're a leader of a team and you think that you have to have all the answers, and maybe the answers are in your clients or your in your team. Don, you are in next.
Okay. Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Don.
Cool. So literally what you just said there was probably my problem. Like I've been promoted to a team lead. So just for context, I'm a software engineer in a startup in Web3, and recently promoted to the team leader. and I was given this task recently. I struggled with it, and I kind of kept it to myself, as in I didn't ask for help and I didn't ask for clarification on how to do it. And I spent a bit too long on it, and kind of wasted a lot of time that I didn't really need to waste if I just asked for help. And I feel like as now a team lead, I feel like I need to know all the answers, and I need to know how to do this, how to do that. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'm going to be found out, or that I'm not like worthy of being the team lead, if that makes sense. So yeah, I need to know how to get out of that mindset and you know, just move forward and you know, really step into that team leader role that I know I am like worthy of.
Yeah, let's first of all, like, let's just, there's a belief, there's like a real obvious belief that I can hear, which is I need to have all the answers. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that true?
Not true.
Okay, like, how do you behave when you believe that that's true?
How do I behave when I believe that's true?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not true, so it makes me feel like I'm not good enough, basically, like I'm missing something, or, you know, I should know it. I feel like I should know it, but, you know, it makes me feel less.
So when I believe that I should have all the answers and I don't, I feel less. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, who would you be if you didn't believe that?
I would be a lot more carefree. I would be like, I'll just find the answer then, you know. I'll just do what I need to do to find the answer, basically.
Started smiling there, Don. Why were you smiling?
And like that's the that's the way forward, really. It's like to, you know, to not be you know, not need to worry about needing to know everything. Like, is it possible? Like, I know this intellectually, but sometimes in that moment it's like you feel like you should, if that makes sense. Like yeah, it's kind of like just staying humble and just being like the learner. That's what I used to like, well, I do think of myself as like constantly learning and just being inquisitive and accepting that you're never going to know everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a mindset that really helped me, and it was quite a juvenile mindset, and I think this happens to a lot of men. Is like, oh, I'm so smart, I know the 99%. I'm always looking for the 1% I don't know. Yeah, like, you're a smart dude. Like, by the way, Don's gonna be a CTO very soon. He's like, he's like, is it CTO? You want to be a CTO?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a smart dude, intellectually very intelligent. So you're probably looking for the 1% you don't know. Like, and how does that feel when you're looking for that 1%?
Like a massive pressure that you just don't need.
Well, what happens if you actually only knew the 1% and you had 99% to learn? How does that feel?
Then I'll be overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Oh, it was opposite for me. But just that beginner mindset. I know 1% and I've actually got so much I can learn. It's expansive, right? I actually challenge you on that. It's like, instead of overwhelm, it's like, actually, I've got so much I can learn. Like, does that feel any different now? We just expanded on that a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, it feels like it certainly opens up. It feels like it's an opening, feeling like I can go ahead and, you know, go and learn this and learn that. And it's all going to add to me improving my skills eventually. So I should see it more as like you know, a way to grow, basically. Than
Yeah.
feeling.
So you had a shrinking feeling, which was caused by what belief?
That I need to know everything. And
Yeah,
that
I know that. I know that like people come to me for the 99%. If there's 1% I don't know, I have to go and there's so much pressure to know that.
Hmm.
Well, okay, I know the 1% and there's 99% I don't know. How are you going to shift like with that thought?
yeah, it's opportunity to grow and expand my skills and learn more. That's why that's exactly why I started joined this company that I'm with now is to like I know my comfort zone, which is like I used to be in video games. Now I'm in Web3 blockchain space. It's totally new to me, and the reason why I joined is to learn this kind of stuff. So it's like I need to remember that, you know.
So let's go a bit more pragmatic now. Now with this like expansive, like actually I've got so much I can learn. I don't need to know everything. And when I'm confronted with a struggle or a challenge that I don't instantly have the answer to, how are you going to behave differently?
I'm gonna say like, you know, this is something that's gonna make me grow, you know.
Well, why don't you? But there's also like we started talking about at the start of this session is someone comes to you with a problem, a struggle, or a challenge, and you're the leader of a team, and they say to you, "Hey Don, how do I solve this?" And you just turn around and say, "I don't know. What would you do?" It's just that.
Don, is this does this come up when your team members are coming to you with a challenge?
Sometimes, yeah, like if they're asking me something that I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I fucking feel the empathy there, mate. Because when I had my team of 20, it was the same all the time, questions and all sorts. But what Ben's just said there, just use that framework.
Mm.
So the framework is, and this is if someone's coming to you with a challenge, that if they present you with a challenge, so they have to come with one challenge. So it's not 27, it's just the one. We just want to focus on one thing. So so number one. The next thing they have to do is they have to give you 3 options on what they think that are the solutions for the challenge, right? And then the next thing is they then have to present or tell you which one of those 3 things that they believe is probably the best solution and what you should really be discussing with them. So it's like a 1-3-1. So it's a framework that you can just use with all your team members and tell them about this framework. Like even have a team meeting and say, guys, like this is a new method that I want to roll out with the whole team. Every time a challenge comes up, we're going to do the 1-3-1 method. Right? It honestly, it will save your skin and it will save you a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can attest, like Yassine is fucking really good at this. If I say if I come to him with a problem and he goes, I don't know, what would you do? He'll never give me a straight answer. He'll never give me he won't tell me what the answer is. He'll know. I know that he fucking knows sometimes as well. And he's like, well, what do you think we should do? I'm like, fuck's sake. And I got to do the thinking. But if you want a fucking dependent team, be Oz, the all-knowing and all-powerful. And I think that's what bottlenecks a lot of men in their businesses, right? We become Oz, the all-knowing and all-powerful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. What do you think we should do?
But being okay with just saying, I don't know.
Yeah, be a bit dumber, Dom. Just don't be Oz. Don't be Oz, the all-knowing and all-powerful. Guys, who can recognize them doing this in their own business or their relationship is that you've tried to be like Oz, the all-knowing, all-powerful, answer all the questions, guys are fixers, all that sort of, and like a lot of team members, family members, partners don't fucking want this. They just either want you to listen or they want to help. Like, and also, how do you think someone feels after they've solved their own problem?
Yeah, it's autonomy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. When I solve my own problem, I feel like, yeah, you feel empowered. You feel like you solved the problem, you know, you feel good, you get that rush.
When was the last time you solved a problem that you were like, actually, I really need to solve this. No one else can help me with this. And you went and just, you solved it. You just made a massive shift in that place in your life.
You know what I mean? I think I've always had, or at least some help. Nothing that comes to mind at the moment, to be honest.
But did someone save you, or did someone help you come to the right decision?
No, they helped me. They helped me to come to that decision. But in the end, the answer is within me. Like you said earlier, as coaches,
And here's a question: what if they would have told you, Don, you need to go and do this?
you don't like being told what to do. I don't know what to do anyway. Yeah.
Okay, let's crystallize this with a what can you see differently as a result of what we've talked about? And man, feel free to post in the chat as well what you're seeing for you or Don.
That I don't need to know everything, and I'm okay. It's okay. Like nothing bad's gonna happen. Be a bit dumber. That resonates. Use Pete's suggestion as well. Ask what would you do? Come up with 3 solutions, and then the one that you think we should go ahead with, and we'll see. But yeah, delegate.
Yeah, this is something I learned from Tim Ferriss: is people behave the way you teach them to behave. So if you want a team who every time they struggle with something, they don't sit and work it out, they just bring you up or come to your desk, fucking solve all their problems for them. Like, do that for them. If you want a like an autonomous team, help them solve their own problems. And then your last resort, unless they're 100% certain that it's going to be that's something that I can see that as well.
Yeah, I've just got something to say here, because I learned this concept years and years and years ago, and it fucking helped me out a lot when I was starting to build a team. And it was just changed my mindset. So the concept is monkeys. So like a problem is a monkey. So when I had my second office, it wasn't that big. It was like 500 square foot. And so it's like, not that big, really, 500 square foot. Team, I think we had about 7 or 8 people in there. But I said to them, guys, every time that you bring a problem into the office, it's a monkey, right? And if you come to me with 3 or 4 problems and you throw the problems at me, it's like you're throwing 5 monkeys at me, and the monkeys are then released in our little 500 square foot office. And there's 8 of you, and you'll come with 3 problems. You've all got 3 monkeys. Now we've got like 20 odd monkeys just flying around the office. And in like a month's time, the whole office is going to be full of all these problems, full of all these monkeys, and you're throwing them on my desk to deal with them. I don't want your fucking monkeys, right? Because I swear I talked to my team, I was like, I don't want your fucking monkeys, right? Come to me with the gorilla, right? We'll solve it together, right? And then you leave. But do not release a monkey in this office. Or multiples. And that I've always remembered that concept. I always think about, I don't want this office full of fucking monkeys raving everywhere, because it's just going to be mayhem. We get rid of one gorilla at a time.
What's the commitment, Don?
Next time I'm faced with this kind of problem, and I don't know it, just say I don't know. What would you do? And be okay with that. Be okay with just not being a know-it-all, and yeah, I think that makes you feel a lot better already. So,
yeah. Thank you, Don. Thank you for bringing that up to the conversation today as well.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for your comments.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Pete just said, like, Don joined our program for a year, thinking it was going to take him a year to get a promotion, and he did it in the first week. He did it in the first week, didn't you? It's like, I think you had your roadmap was like, this is going to take a year, and then it took him like how long?
Yeah, like a week or 2, like one conversation.
Yeah. But seriously, guys, that is the power of coaching. That your power of coaching the group is that when you've got guys like Don going and asking doing bold moves after his first conversation, joining the group. That's the culture, right? Is that you start to look at these conversations with your managers, leaders, your co-workers, your business partners differently. The thing that, Don, can I share just a little bit about this? Is that right? Is we see them as hard conversations, right? Hard conversations, high stake conversations, crucial conversations, whatever you want to label it, is like where emotions run high, the risk is high, and you might have mixed opinions. And guys, naturally, we pull back from those conversations. So like, I'll say that again, because you might want to write it down. So a crucial conversation is with high stakes, high emotions, and difference of opinions. And you go into some of these conversations and you don't say what you want to say. You don't go bold. And it makes a massive difference when you've got the framework, the skill set to go into a hard conversation and just say what you want. You know, this is something I teach a lot of the guys who've done it on the podcast as well. Like, this is what I want for me. This is what I want for you. This is what I want for us. I learned with Kerry Patterson and Joseph Grenny, their crucial conversations framework stuff. And like, they really go into that quite a lot. It's like, when you're having a hard conversation, it's really important to state that at the start of the conversation. So like, say for example, I know Don might have had the same framing for his conversation, like, this is what I want. Hey, I want a pay rise. I want to earn great money for this company. What I want for you is to do great work for you and to be here for 10 years. And what I want for us is for me to grow this myself and grow this company. And so that framing going into a hard conversation settles the person down. And it's very assertive. And it's a really powerful way to frame any conversation, whether that's with your partner, whether it's with a boss, an employer. The you, me, and we framing is so powerful. Don't know if you use that. Did you use that?
I don't think so, but sounds good.
I think you just needed the courage to go in and have the conversation and the pressure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And actually something that Aaron said before about Pete giving him pressure. And I actually want to challenge that. I don't know if Aaron's still on the call, but Pete probably just pulled out the pressure that Aaron wanted to put on himself, that he'd probably been putting on himself in other areas. And he just put it into a decision, because I think a lot of guys' problems come from unmade decisions. Like, Aaron wanted to be a performer at the level that he was talking about, but he wasn't applying the urgency to make a decision to move forwards. And I think that's sometimes when you meet someone like a world-class coach, a great consultant, a mentor, they invite you to put urgency into a decision. And, like we did yesterday, we presented you with an offer. We said, hey, like, go and make a decision about this. Don't be caught in the do I, don't I space. Take the action and make it work after. And that's what I think is so potent about the space that we offer and the space of coaching. It creates this potency and this urgency for guys to go and, like, urgency or pressure turns coal into diamonds. You've heard that expression before. And sometimes, guys, we need that. Like, you might be sitting on this call today thinking, I need that. I'm not urgent in my life. And then you get met by Mr. Urgency, Peter Taylor there. Pete's an urgent, something I've learned from being around Pete. He's so urgent. And that's such a powerful trait. It's like, it's a great trait to embody as a man. It's like, I'm urgent. And like, this was something we talked about a lot recently, is like urgency. And that, again, that's discipline. It's the ability to take action straight away. Whereas guys like to push everything off into the future. It's like, oh, I'll make a decision on it next week. I'll
sleep on it.
I'll sleep on that. All that sorts of. And then what happens is they end up fearing the future, which is anxiety. So fear of the future is also known as anxiety. And why do they fear the future? Because they put all their fucking decisions there. And so, like, what I've noticed is the guys who live without anxiety, especially in our group, are people like your Lukes, your who else is on here? Your Mike fans, who else is on here? So I'm scrolling through these names. Don. Sorry, Don. Yeah. Trent. Yeah, guys. Awesome. Okay. I've got time for another conversation. We got one more. If one of the Awaken Man group want to raise their hand, guys, if you're welcome to shoot. If you need to shoot, please, if you haven't already had a look at the offer we gave you yesterday, please take a look at that. I've emailed it. I can
Ben,
send smoke
there is a
signals.
call in 15 minutes.
Okay, no, we haven't got time then.
It's 15 minutes.
Right.
We have
No. Let's just instead of that, what we'll do is the last 5 minutes, we'll just have insights and brief sharings. So we'll do 5 minutes of you're welcome to unmute or raise your hand, and then I'll ask you to unmute because otherwise we'll have a free for all. And just share something that's come up for you, like something that's been really clear from the conversations today. So like you got a minute, keep it concise, what I say specific and storyless. What did
I have
you
one,
take
Ben.
from the conversation? Who's that?
Trent.
Trent, how are you doing, brother? Yeah, you go for it, man.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh,
Hey,
good,
so
man.
for Dawn, this was my past world. I was a pilot and I was surrounded by engineers. I had engine problems, I had aircraft problems, I flew helicopters. I was surrounded with people like him. Now that I do financial services, a lot of my clients are engineers, and they got to know everything about everything, right? You can't tell them anything because they know everything. But my challenge for Don would be, if you're going to be the CTO, you're going to be the guy that coordinates everything and brings it all together. Why do you think you were chosen for that role? Being chosen for that role doesn't mean you're the best engineer. You're probably the best communicator, the best visionary, the best. So that's the part is my advice would be, or my thought would be, that you need to let go of I need to know everything about everything, because that's not your role. Your role is to know enough about everything to get the people that know the specifics about everything in a room to make an informed decision for the betterment of the company or the team. So that's the challenge. I've struggled with this one in the past too, because I want to know everything about everything. But I've realized I just have to know enough to get the conversation started so I can go to people that have the answers and come back to you with a solution. It's very liberating. So anyway, my thought was, when he was talking, was he's still trying to be the engineer guy in a different role. That's not his role. That's what I would offer.
That's
That's really good.
that's good. Trent, that's gold.
Thank you. Thank you, Trent.
Thank you, Trent. Yeah, let go, Don. Let go. Trent with a mic drop. You're looking lean as well, Trent. Trent's been on Trent is officially. Have you divorced the ice cream now? Is it gone? It's still a part of your life?
Yeah. I just work.
Yeah, go for it. He's looking good, man.
I'm still losing weight though.
He is. Yeah, you're flying, dude. You're looking good, man. That was awesome. Thank you, Trent. Really appreciate that. Guys, minute or two, if there's anything that's come up for you, anything that you've seen as a result of being on the call, you're welcome to leave, or you're welcome to share an insight before you go. Please raise your hand if you're going to do that, because I'll unmute you. And if you feel fearful of doing it, it's more of the reason to do it. Yeah, Callum, go for it, man.
It's sort of from Tuesday's one as well. Obviously, I missed yesterday's because I was busy with work, couldn't get onto it, listen to it yesterday. I basically got to a point where it sort of went, I've had enough of doing the role that I was doing in work. Was always worried about sort of going and speaking to someone, see if I could go somewhere else. And then yesterday just decided, you know what, no, just put myself out there. Went and spoke to someone, being told, yeah, put your application in, there's going to be a few positions coming up, you're really well suited to it. And then like the little business idea that I've had going, actually stuck to it this time, and pretty much about to finish sorting that out now today.
Well done, man. That's phenomenal.
So
How'd you feel? How'd you feel?
A lot better than the last couple of weeks when I've tried to set something up and never got past that step and that first hurdle.
Right, that's the first hurdle. Use that momentum, right? Like, what's the next thing? Like, you've got momentum. What's the next thing now?
Next thing's obviously going to be doing the application for this new role, and then continuing to try and grow a small business into a bigger business.
What else in your life needs this momentum taken to it? Like, what else needs sorting that you've been putting off?
I think more so sort of like speaking to people about like how I feel more like openly. because I think I've always got that worry of if I turn around and say to someone, "Oh, this is how I'm feeling," and I'm always then worried about what their reaction's going to be rather than anything else, and I just bottle stuff up in the end.
Yeah. So what could you do now? Now you've realised that.
Actually, just be able to go and speak to people and say, "Listen, this is what I see it as. This is how I feel," and have that conversation with people.
Yeah, awesome, Callum. Hey, keep the momentum going, brother. Once it arrives, just do everything you can to preserve it.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that action. Really appreciate that. Hey guys, there's a minute or two left. Anyone want to share any insights? And we'll see you on to tomorrow's conversation. Jonathan, go for it, brother.
Yeah, what I found really useful, thanks Ben and Pete and Yassine and the others, is just asking the questions. Finds the gap between when I ask the questions and I answer the truth about whatever the questions are you've been asking this week. The moment I answer the question, I realize the gap between where I thought I was or where I want to be and where I actually am. And that sort of gap is now the motivation. So I think that's for me, that's been the super insightful part, is because I get questions from people all the time, but these are a completely new set of questions. So, you know, that honesty is even fresher somehow. And finding that gap between where I really am and where either I think I am or where I want to be, which are two different places. That gap between those is the energy to go forward. So thanks.
Thank you, John. Yeah, really thank you for sharing that. A couple of guys really resonated with that as well. And that's it. You know, I think that's what's beautiful about being in a group of high performing men, is you just see these new levels that people play at as well. You know, just being either the way that they show up by doing the things or presenting questions or a standard that they live at. I think that's something we're very, very spoiled with in Awaken Man. Every single day we get to see guys who just move into fear, they take action. The way that they show up, they not only create really, really high performing businesses, they spend time with their kids. It's amazing. Guys, we've got time for one more, then we're gonna close the call. Thank you, John. Be brave. What was an insight? If you're thinking that you want to share, get it. Thank you, Jeff. See you tomorrow, man. Thank you, Ian. See you tomorrow, guys. Alistair, go for it, man.
Yeah, the big insight for me, actually, I think, was we were just talking about coaching and having those opportunities. And I suddenly realized from yesterday, actually, there's opportunities all around to coach and to work through those. And I go from I think I put in the chat, my son, you know, just him joining the calls this week's given us a whole new thing to talk about and communicate on. So it's really created a bond there. But there's also other calls I've been having with men each week who have got their own struggles, and I've suddenly realized, shit, I can turn those into the opportunity to practice coaching. So yeah, that's been a big thing this week from.
Well done, man. You're looking lean as well. All these guys are, you're getting shredded.
I'm definitely not shredded yet, but no,
He's getting, man.
48-hour fast was,
yeah,
just giving me so much energy.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Like changed. I feel so fucking good. It's great. No, it's awesome.
Fuck it.
I've been doing push-ups in the morning and squats and all sorts. So it's nice.
All right, we just done a podcast just before the call, actually, on health, on like getting in shape. Look at that. I feel so fucking good. Oh, I love that, mate.
Looking good, man. Looking really good. Well done.
I feel really good.
Yeah, I can see it in your face. You can see you starting to lean out.
I'm still 118 kilos, so yeah, just need to drop a bit more. But it'll come.
He's doing. Yeah, well done, man. Hey, great to see Mark McCormick. Mark on the call. Mark McCormick, how you doing, man?
All right, guys. See you later.
Guys, thank you so much. Closing the call now, and we will resume tomorrow. Be here, be in the space. Tomorrow's we're going deep. We're going to go deep tomorrow. Deep work tomorrow. I'm excited. This is it's a great end to the week. We're gonna be doing a lot of speaking. There's gonna be a lot of breakout rooms. A lot of conversations. More and more conversations with guys. You're gonna connect way more at the end of the week. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mark, what did you take away from that session?
Gosh. Honestly, I think a lot of us, I'll just say this for myself. I think too many times you just hide, you know, thinking about different work environments I've been in and being a manager and leader, just hiding behind your expertise and falling into the same role of, yeah, I need to fix this problem, or I need to fix that problem, rather than really leading people. Yeah, I think sometimes that's either done by default, or we're just trying to look for the easy way out.
Yeah, you're right there, man. Sometimes the easy option is to give the answer.
Yeah, and it's truly not what you want. Stepping in that role, like what Don was saying, like stepping into that role, aspiring to be what others see you as, that makes you feel powerful, and you want to step into that power more and more, which it gives you energy. It makes other people, like, wow, this is the person that we want in that role, that position. So I totally see that in myself and other roles that I've had too. So
yeah, awesome. Guys, we're going to close the call. Thank you, Mark. Looking forward to our conversation. And hey, guys, thank you so much for being here. And we'll send you the recording of the conversation if you want to revisit any of the stuff that's been covered. Don, thank you for your question. Matt, if we can remember to share Matt's stuff for him, that'd be great, guys. Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow, guys.
See you tomorrow, gents.